Hi, my name is Mathieu Bouchard. I am Senior Advisor to the Prime Minister of Canada. I deal mostly with legal affairs and Quebec issues. I've been in this job since November 2015 after the election. I'm a lawyer by trade, and I came to this through years of community involvement, volunteering with the Canadian Bar Association, with local groups in Montreal, an art gallery, in municipal politics, and then finally in the federal election campaign last year. Today I'm here to talk about challenging the status quo. That's one of the things we've been trying to do as much as we can as a government. We're trying to effect change, and that's one of the most rewarding things about this job is being able to effect change. One of the areas where we've been focusing on is appointments on the different boards and tribunals, and as well as the bench. We recently announced a new appointment process for the Supreme Court of Canada. We'll also be announcing at some point in the near future a new appointments process for the Superior Courts and the Courts of Appeal. And as with all the appointments we're making now to the tribunals, to the boards, to the upper echelons of the civil service, the federal civil service, we're looking at diversity. Diversity is important, not just because it's the right thing to do, but also because it brings in the best and the brightest of all spheres of Canadian society. So Canada is a very rich and diverse country, and we need that diversity to be represented amongst our institutions. It's important because there's many research coming out and supporting this now, is that you get better decisions, you get better outcomes when you have a diverse group of people looking at an issue and making a decision, and that's what we want. We need it. What are we doing to achieve that? Well, we're challenging the status quo, because unfortunately, one of the big barriers, or the biggest barriers to diversity, is when people don't recognize themselves in an institution. If they see that an institution is dominated by a certain group of people and they're not a member of that group, a lot of people just won't apply. And so it's not good enough to simply say that we'll have a more diverse civil service, that we'll have a more diverse bench. We actually need to actively take measures to get there. So we need to actively outreach to different minority groups, to indigenous groups, to LGBTQ Canadians, and we need to bring them in. We need to convince them that they can apply, that they have a spot around the table, and that they belong there, and that we need their unique outlook into what is Canada as a society, what is Canada as a great country. So my tip to every one of you out there is that you need to consider those issues. You need to think about them, and when you put together a beautiful policy on paper, you have to think about how you're going to bring it to life into the real world. How are you going to reach the people that you want to reach when you're actually looking at diversity? Thank you.